What's going on, everyone? Tayler Kyles here for CLNS Media, joined by my buddy Brian Hines, where we are live at the NFL Combine, reporting on all the news and updates you need to know from the event. One of the biggest updates we got today didn't actually pertain to the Combine, but the NFLPA did release grades for all the teams in terms of their staff, how players feel the facilities are, different aspects of the organization, and the Patriots did not do well. In fact, they graded worse than they did last season by almost every single metric. And I'll read them off for you right now. Ownership got a D+, which ranked 27th in the NFL. Head coach was a B-, 27th. Weight room was an F, 32nd in the NFL. Locker room was a C-, the 20th worst in the NFL. Strength coaches were a C-, 31st in the NFL. Team travel was a D, which was 24th worst. Training staff was a B-, which was 25th. The training room was a C, which was 22nd. Food was a B-, which put the Patriots at 15th, one of the few ranks they had that was above the bottom 20. Nutritionist was a B-, which was 20th. And families was an F-, which put the Patriots at 30th. So, Brian, a lot of bad to parse through there. What are some of the ones that really jumped out to you, especially considering the Patriots team with a lot of resources? They've had a lot of success, but, clearly not cutting it in several areas.
Well, I guess if you want to start maybe with something that could become a positive, was the weight room got an F, right? And the players are saying the quality of the weight room equipment was below average. They didn't have enough space. That should change soon, because part of all this stadium construction included a new weight room that they're installing. They're putting it in a new location too, I believe. So hopefully that's a bigger spot with new equipment, and they can bump that grade up from an F. But some of the other ones, family F-, which F- is not a good place to start. And that still kind of seems like maybe an easy fix, right? They're one of 12 teams that do not provide a family room during games, and only one of 4 teams that do not offer a family room or daycare. So that seems like something that they could be able to put in place and kind of get that grade up. But I mean, the fact that it's been like this for multiple years, not a great sign that it hasn't happened yet, I'd say.
Definitely. And like we said, these are easy fixes. One, the weight room, we already know that's underway. Families, for an NFL organization with all the money in the world, that seems like a relatively easy fix if they decide to commit resources to it. And one of the other ones that we can probably expect to change was head coaching, which got a B- with Bill Belichick. A lot of the players said that they had issues because they didn't feel that they were being listened to. There was also the fact that they didn't think that Belichick made efficient use of their time. Now, with Jerod Mayo in the fold, he's put more of an emphasis on being respectful to players, making sure that they feel appreciated, and he builds that relationship before he asks them to go out there and, act as players. And Bill Belichick's way, obviously, won several Super Bowls. It's not, no one's saying that, that way didn't work for him, but clearly the players weren't very happy about it. And if the Patriots really want to make this push towards being more player-friendly, that's going to have to be an area where Jerod Mayo is going to want to see this time next year that grade bump up.
Yeah, it was kind of surprising to see him that low, I guess, right? Because you still hear throughout the year so many players talk highly of him and how helpful he is, but maybe behind the scenes, it obviously feels a little bit differently. So, yeah, you get this new culture with Jerod Mayo that's obviously going to be a little bit more player-friendly, as we've seen even through the early stages so far. So you'd expect probably that to increase as well moving forward.
Yeah, and with Bill Belichick, we heard throughout the year, like you mentioned, defensive players stuck up for him. They loved Bill Belichick, the coach, and really did have his back. But then you also had some players like Trent Brown was on the record saying that he didn't like how he was handled, how he felt that the Patriots were trying to play mind games with him in terms of, inviting him and telling him to come to certain parts of the offseason program, then having him as a backup, and felt he was just wasting their time. And another area where the Patriots didn't grade well was team travel. And Trent Brown also mentioned when he aired out some of his grievances that the Patriots, he didn't like the fact that they waited until the last minute to tell players what their schedule was. And some of the other issues he had, which probably falls in the Trent Brown category, was not having enough room on the team plane, which, a team that has its own plane you would think would grade very well. So thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, they have a plane. They don't make the players share rooms when they go on trips. So a D was very surprising, but it seemed like it was that schedule. I think they were 31st or 32nd ranking. Like the players don't like the schedule. So we've heard Trent Brown air some grievances on that, how, you leave the facility and you find out like at that time your schedule for the next day. So I don't know if it's like that on travel. I think it's a little more advanced than that, but they obviously don't like that. So maybe that is something that they try to alter and change to improve moving forward.
Yeah, so obviously the Patriots want to get better on the field, most importantly, but behind the scenes, there's a lot of work to do. We'll see what happens this time next year, but keep it locked in on Patriots Press Pass for all your news and updates live from the Combine. Brian and I will be here until Sunday, keeping you updated with everything you need to know.
Testing my skills on Prize Picks this season is the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $1,000 with just a few taps. Use the code CLNS for the first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.